could a medical marijuana dispensary be opening near you? The passage of new city ordinances could make that a possibility. We get more from Elizabeth Baker.
Dispensaries have been shutting down all over San Diego. Still, 57 dispensaries are open despite threats from the city and federal government.
But a lot have also stayed open because they're willing to take the extra step and go above and beyond and really aren't really too concerned with consequence.
And for the dispensaries who have shut down, it just wasn't worth the headache of threats from city and federal government constantly interfering with their personal lives.
Just be forewarned, any business out there now operating as a medical marijuana dispensary needs to be looking over their shoulders because the city will be visiting and will be shutting them down.
How is the city not shutting them down? Well, they're trying to work from both ends, upholding the Compassionate Use Act of 1996 while also keeping our community safe. The city has passed new zoning and operating ordinances outlining where dispensaries may operate. The main concern is to keep the dispensaries away from neighborhoods, schools, churches, and daycare centers.
The stores that want to operate legally in the city of San Diego will soon have an opportunity to get their applications in, to pay fees, to get on the list, and to start the process of background checks and permitting.
Up to 4 dispensaries are allowed per district. Zoning does not allow any dispensary to operate in Hillcrest or North Park, which are mostly residential and community-oriented. This is Elizabeth Baker for News Scene.
The first legal dispensaries that follow all the new ordinances are set to open in September of 2014.
And a battle is taking place over the future of Barrio Logan. Maria Elena Castellanos has a story.
Rare is a neighborhood where residents and industrial businesses live together, but in Barrio Logan, that is the case. Over the years, the neighborhood has had to make room for the Navy, the ship repair industry, the building of a bridge, a freeway, and unhealthy chemicals in its air. And this June, San Diegans will have a say in Barrio Logan's future. On the ballot is Proposition B and C, which would approve the Barrio Logan Community Plan. Hector Villegas is an artist, a father, and a resident who lives next door to an industrial business.
So growing up around here, the air tasted like metal, like rust, oil. You can taste it on your tongue.
Businesses such as NASCO, the Ship Repair Association, and their suppliers are opposed to the plan.
We strongly believe that we need to preserve all of our industrial space.
Industrial businesses worry if the plan is approved, there will be restrictions, limits, and claim that thousands of jobs will be lost to the city as a whole. David Dewey sees several options.
If they have problems with asthma or whatever, some people move to Arizona.
For Hector, who calls Barrio Logan his home, moving is not an option. And with a daughter with asthma and a newborn, for him, pollution is a priority.
They know that they're polluting, they know that they're doing something wrong, but they want to keep on doing it because it's good for their pocket.
Councilmember David Alvarez grew up in the same home as Hector and also has asthma. He has been working to resolve these issues.
And I have faith that the rest of the people in San Diego will say yes to Barrio Logan. We do believe that it's time that they are treated as well as everybody else.
Reporting for News Scene, I'm Maria Elena Castellanos.
The vote on the Barrio Logan Community Plan will take place on June 3rd. For more information, you can take a look at smartvoter.org.
Alrighty, switching gears here, we're going to a story that's very controversial this past 2 weeks. Clippers owner Donald Sterling is fighting penalties against him. The owner has sent a letter to the NBA. In the letter, Sterling is telling the league that he will not pay the $2.5 million fine and is rejecting his lifetime ban from the NBA. Sterling is looking to compromise the loss of his ownership and is threatening to sue the league. Since the recently leaked conversation with girlfriend V. Stiviano, Sterling has repeatedly denied he is a racist, and he's also issued a public apology saying it was a terrible mistake. And in other sports news, former Patriots tight end Aaron Hernandez finds himself in more trouble. Mark Henry is here with the latest. What's going on?
That's right. Aaron Hernandez was indicted yesterday on charges of double murder. Hernandez was already in custody for an unrelated murder when the indictment was handed down. Police have confirmed that the former tight end is accused in the shooting deaths of Daniel Abreu and Safiro Furtado. The men were struck down at a traffic light in Boston's South End. And switching gears, in the NBA, Game 6 of the Western Conference, semifinals at the Staples Center, the Clippers trying to avoid elimination. In the fourth quarter, with the OKC up by 2, Blake Griffin hits the jumper to tie it up at 76. Then tied down at 80, KD comes off the screen and hits the jumper. Thunder lead 82-80, and with just over 3 minutes left, Durant loses the ball. Griffin on the break, and Durant draws the offensive foul. Griffin's 5th foul, and he would eventually foul out. The Thunder win 104-98 to eliminate the Clippers. They'll take on the San Antonio Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. And in baseball, the Pods would take on the Cincinnati Reds in a doubleheader yesterday after being rained out on Wednesday. The Pods would drop the first game after being shot out by Reds pitcher Johnny Cueto. In the second game, however, it was a different story. Bottom of the second, Rene Rivera with a 2-run shot to the left, giving the Pods 2-1 lead. And in the 7th, Everett Cabrera with a homer of his own to extend the Padres' lead. Bottom of the 7th, check out a spectacular defensive play. Padres turn 2. Top of the 8th, Yonder Alonso would join the home run party with this solo blast. Padres win 5-1 and take on the series. 10 horses will enter, but only one will win. Tomorrow will mark the 139th running of the Preakness Stakes at Pimlico Racecourse. Kentucky Derby winner California Chrome will race out of the number 3 post as he goes for the second jewel of the Thoroughbuzz Racing coveted Triple Crown. Chrome has been named 3-5 morning line favorite and will take on Derby competitors Ride on Curlin General A-Rod. The race will also feature filly Ria Notonia, who finished 6th in the Kentucky Oaks. The race will air tomorrow night, on NBC. So it looks like California Chrome might be just in the winner's circle again. What do you think about that? Looks promising, right?
Yes, it does. I watched the last race of the Kentucky Derby, and I was rooting for him all the way.
Yeah, good stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, see what happens.
Be rooting for California Chrome.
For sure.
Yeah. So when we come back, families of the 9/11 attack, families of the victims of the 9/11 attack will now have a place to mourn their loved ones.
And find out where to go for some fun in the sun in San Diego in our new entertainment report.